Hi everyone, it's Dr. Janet. I want to give some feedback on the week 4 discussion board post, and the same applies to our assignments. What I have here on my screen is the list of resources that were for week 4. And when you click any of these links, it'll take you to the information. On a side note, just so you know, when you see these links that show here, like it says it's a library link or it shows it's a blog link or anything like that, that's not your citation. That's not your format of your source of information. That's just a link that takes you to the source. So when you're citing your information in your discussions or in your assignment, you're not supposed to be copying and pasting this information that you see here. Like you see, this one says it's an article. Sorry about that. It's pretty bad drawing of a circle there. But what you're supposed to do, you would click on this information and wait for it to load. And it's kind of odd that that still shows there, but that's okay. It's not the most important thing. So anyway, you see that this article here that SNU has shared with us, that the article has an author. Her name is over here, Cameron Chapman. So you would cite the author as Chapman, C. You see the date is up here, this January 28th, 2010. Even though it's an old article, you would still include that. And then here's your title right here. And so any of that information that pertains to the assignment would be listed in that link. And that's how you would properly cite it. So now going back to our resources, the resources in your weekly module are there for you to help you. So again, once you click on them and go to an actual website, and read the information, you cite that information. This is not properly formatted anywhere here on this page. When you're looking at all of these sources, these are just giving you links. Sometimes you will see them correctly formatted, but in this case, they're not. And so now that we're on week 4, another point I want to bring up is that, and I'm going to take this off the screen. So another point I want to bring up is that, we are in week 4, and part of the writing mechanics of the course requires that I'm making sure that you're following proper writing style, which in the course is APA. Pretty much all universities use APA format, and so you would check that. There are courses such as scientific courses and other literary courses that may use Chicago or MLA or something along those lines. There's several different formats, but for the most part, most universities do use APA. I've shared lots of information throughout the course, and I know that it can be quite difficult, to follow, but it is a requirement. So when you see that I can't give you, or I don't give you full points when we get to the writing mechanics, or if in your responses to your classmates, if you don't receive full points, and I have mentioned that it's because you need to be citing at least one source of information, that's all required for the in-depth and thorough response post. So I'm hoping that moving forward that the few of you that are not following APA format, I hope that you will begin to follow that. Because the most disappointing thing is to not be able to give maximum points. But, our classes, they are monitored, and I have to follow the format. I have to follow the grading rubric. And if you don't supply the information, I can't give the credit for the missing information. I appreciate you guys making sure that your first post is up by Thursday, that your responses are in by Sunday. I do ask that you please continue to check back throughout the week just to see if I have commented on your discussion. In week 1, we're required to respond to everyone, and moving forward, there's just like a certain percentage that we can respond to. In this particular class, we not only have our weekly discussion, but we have our team discussions, and so I'm also in there. So it is a little bit difficult for me to respond to every single post, but I try to get through, and I'm relying on you looking at my feedback on previous weeks, because if you're making the same mistakes and you're not getting 100% on your discussion board posts or on your short papers, then you need to open that rubric and see what's going on, and and why you didn't earn the maximum points. Again, I want to give everybody 100% points, but I can't do that because I have guidelines I have to follow. So I just hope that you guys can, moving forward, those that are missing points on your discussion board posts or on your short papers, I just ask that you please read the feedback I give. Please open your rubric that's attached to your discussion board post. Look in your course module and see what resources are available to you. If you, when you're responding to a classmate and they're writing on a certain topic, or like we had ads this week, feel free to, you can always cite the ad. If they were writing about Nike and you're responding to a Nike ad post, go to Nike's website and grab the URL and format it properly, cite the source in the content, and you'll be done with it and everything will be fine. So I'm hoping that this helps you guys understand a little bit more about the grading process. Again, I can't just give 100% if the information is not there for me to do so. I hope that helps you guys, and I really appreciate all the participation in our discussion and in our teamwork. Keep on moving forward. Take away from all of these discussions and short papers, take the little bits of information and move that into incorporating into your final project with your team, because these are all kind of working together. So it's building up what you're going to be working on. Because, for example, in week 4, in our discussion board post, you were to look for 2 ads. And even though you weren't supposed to say, that this is a good ad and this is a bad ad, providing additional information, I like to have communication. And so if I've commented and asked for, or what are your thoughts on it, or can you provide for more information, I'm not trying to be difficult. I am just trying to engage in conversation in the discussion board and get you to think a little bit more beyond. And I'm asking the questions. So that means that, okay, go ahead and, and answer me as your professor. Because if we were in a classroom environment face to face, I would be going around the room and saying, hey, so-and-so, well, what are your thoughts on this? And so I do the same thing in our discussion post. So I am asking that you please come back to the discussion board. And if I haven't commented on your actual post, but you see I've commented on another classmate's, look at that and see what I've said. Because a lot of times there's going to be information that you see I comment on to another classmate that can help you develop your own post, or, provide additional information that can help you. So anyway, I thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the classroom. Bye-bye.